We're joined now in studio by Taoiseach Enda Kenny. Taoiseach, you're welcome to the 9 o'clock news. You promised clarity, certainty, predictability. When you hear somebody like businessman John Mulligan from Roscommon saying he still has fears about the future, can you say that you've delivered that?
Well, I can say first of all that we listened very carefully to what people had to say. Genuine people all over the country wanted to express their concerns and their anxieties, and I said that we would listen to those and would act accordingly. And I think the announcement made by government today by the Minister gives certainty, gives clarity and gives predictability. First of all, it lays out until 2019 what the capped charges will be. €1.15 per week for a person living alone and €3 per week for 2 adults or more or with children. So that gives certainty to the maximum prices until 2019. It also sets out...
But it's what happens after that?
Well, what happens after that is that the Minister is actually going to legislate on behalf of government, so that whatever Minister is in office in 2019 is going to have the authority of the government to continue capping charges so that water remains affordable for families. So the stories of huge hikes are going to be a matter that the Minister will control, because the Minister of the day will have the authority to continue capping so that water remains affordable. It also means that you now have got predictability for the future and a sense of affordability and fairness. Another issue is that Irish Water themselves have got a real challenge here in terms of attracting the confidence and the trust of the people, and they've got to slash their operating costs by €1 billion out by 2020, 2021, and that's not on the direction of the government, that's on the direction of the independent regulator. And I think it should also be said, Eileen, if I may say so, that the average worker, a single worker on the minimum wage of 35,000, is going to get back €400 in the income tax returns starting in January, which is 7 times the capped charge for a single person of €1.15 per week.
But you and Minister Kelly have both admitted mistakes were made. These mistakes are now set to cost the Exchequer some €84 million a year in the next 4 years, between making up the shortfall for Irish Water and paying the €100 grant to 60,000 people who aren't even customers of Irish Water.
Yes, but we wanted to be very fair about this. The original concept was that you would have a tax credit and a household package. This proved too cumbersome. The government did make mistakes here, and I've admitted that in the Dáil today. And I regret, indeed, the anxiety and the concern that this caused so many ordinary people who want to see their country prosper and thrive ahead here. But I think it's important also that they know and they understand that we cannot go on with the situation where you're pumping raw sewage into rivers and lakes and the sea in 42 towns. We have 500 treatment works that are inferior, where this city and the conurbation are on a knife edge all of the time, with 40% of the water that's already paid for leaking away into the ground. So the metering programme is very important. First of all, it allows for determining whether there are leaks from roadways into houses and so on like that. But secondly, it gives people the opportunity to conserve water and beat the cap. And if there are 750,000 households that can beat that cap if they follow the instructions for conserving water and do so by a minimum of 10 to 15%. So there's a real incentive there, because every time you fix a leak, you save water. And that water has already been paid for. So the cost goes down for the consumer and the people of the country alike. And one other issue, Eileen, if I may say so, we're going to set up a people's forum selected on the same process as the Constitutional Convention. 60 people from all over the country, chosen in a very professional manner, who will engage with Irish Water themselves about their investment programme, so that the people will know that the contributions they make are going for the investment in the infrastructure for the people and the country's future.
A lot of people are not going to rest easy until Irish Water is abolished and these charges are abolished, and people this evening still calling for the protesters to come out on the streets and a big demonstration on the 10th of December. How will you react if that is again
whatever
a mass
mistakes
demonstration?
the government may have made, and I admit that we made many, The issue is that it's not a mistake to have Irish Water set up. You need one unitary national system here. We had 34 different systems. You cannot run a train system on a county basis or water systems. And that's why the savings are already becoming evident. Here in Dublin alone, the restructuring of the Rings End contract and doing things a more efficient way than expanding that project means a saving of 172 million, which was the equivalent of the cost of setting up Irish Water in one entity. Also, for instance, down in Galway, the restructuring of the contract for the major treatment works there is now saving 100,000 a month.
But you've come this far in a year. Will there be further concessions if the protests continue?
No, I think this gives the clarity and the certainty and the predictability that we set out, and affordability. Things that people said to me, I want to know what I'm going to pay. Now they know. €1.15 for a single person per week, €3 per household where you have 2 or more adults. But the important thing out of that is that this is for investment in fixing the infrastructure and investing for the future. And people can rest assured that Irish Water will never be privatised. It is a public entity, locked in law, and the contributions they make will be seen through the People's Forum to go for what they were intended, investment for the future.
Okay, Taoiseach, we have to leave it there. Thank you.